Okay, welcome back to Attack on Titan, anime review episode number 31. This is our reviewing the 63rd episode of the anime, called From One Hand to Another. This is a very interesting one, mind you. Oh yes, this one, from what I can tell, finishes up chapter 95, like there was a couple pages they skipped over from last week's episode, they put in this one, and they adapted the second half of chapter 97. Yeah, they pretty much adapted about half the chapter last week. And then this week, they finish up this chapter, and then they go through the entirety of chapter 98. They did make one small alteration to it, which I'll get to. Mostly put, basically, with Attack of 95, it's simply put stuff that leads into another scene, basically, where you have Peck go up the stairs, and we see the host of the Cart Titan just crawling around. And, oh yeah, this is my natural form. Like, she's like some natural, like, you just walk upright. Yeah. Now, there's a lot of stuff with Gabby, Falco, and the other two warrior candidates. Where they have a race, which, of course, Gabby loses, loses to Falco. We see Ryan. Now, here's the thing. Zeke is in the episode, but he's seen very briefly. Yes, that's something quite interesting, though. Yes, Zeke. The Beast Titan. Zeke Yeager. Well, technically, I don't think his last name is Yeager. No, but I do know he is, in fact, the son of Grisham Yeager and Aaron's older half-brother. He's in the episode, but you see him very briefly for like one brief scene toward the end of the episode. Now, you're probably thinking, wait, did the anime cut up scenes with him from the manga? The answer is no. No, they didn't. Let's stop that from this episode. He up until the toward the very end of the episode, which I'll get to that. That's all straight from the manga, so nothing much changed there. We see also that Falco is still talking to Kruger. Yes, that's what he calls himself, Kruger. Yeah, I know, this is frickin' Aaron. So, Kruger gives Falco a letter to deliver, and, of course, Reiner sees that, oh yeah, like, where you going? He's like, I'm going to HQ because I forgot something. Like, okay. He doesn't see the fact he goes to the mailbox. Now, they actually do a small little cut here. They actually don't show the inside of the mailbox. Yeah, and this is an old-fashioned type mailbox. Now, this mailbox, basically, in the U.S., this is usually like a big blue thing that you pull down and you put the letter in. Where I live, basically, we still have these things, except that's basically part of the post office. This looks like something like UK standard. I technically have not seen a mail carrier. I've seen pictures of basically mailbox. Like, this is very circular and red. These things do exist. Yes, they do. But the thing is, I don't know where the heck they are. It could be UK, possibly. And then pretty much after that, we see the debut of the Tiber family. Yes, they finally make an appearance in the episode. First, see the commander of the warrior unit, Marco, where he goes visit them. Yep, he goes visit them. Him and his subordinate, I don't remember the guy's name, we come across the private forces. This is a slight mirror alteration change because in the manga, like in the case of I Love Anime, they just simply take the image and they do the mirror opposite of it because the soldiers they see in the episode, he was actually to the right, to the left in the manga. In the anime, it switches to the right. It's perspective. So we open up, we see that the head of the Tiber family, named Wilbur. And yes, this guy does appear in the actual manga. This is not an anime original character. None of the characters are. That's one thing cool about the Attack on Titan series. There is no anime original characters. There's anime original arcs per se, like in the case of Sasha, for example, in the second season, I think it was the first season of the show, where she fought one time by herself without 3D gear, mind you, and that was the last time we saw her until the Uprising arc in the manga. In the anime, she's actually in the Action X arc, mainly because of the popularity of the character. But this guy, I gotta admit, the stuff with him, basically this episode, spot on. They didn't make one change. I'll get to that. So, they talked to him for me, like, he figured out which one's the Warhammer Titan. I know who it is. It's the mate stand in the corner. I know that because I read the manga. So, they talk outside. Will reveals why he came to visit. The reason why? See a statue. And plus, there's a weird play going on. So, and then we cut to Gabby, where she just wakes up like, oh, there's a festival going on. Like, what? I mean, she knew about the festival. She didn't know these people were even coming at this point in the day. So, she's apparently woken up by this, and we see Reiner's there too, along with Peck. I don't remember the host of the Card Titan one. So, and there's this hilarious gag of Reiner paying for all the food from his own wallet, which I found to be so hilarious. I mean, it's kind of like the old thing of like, oh, let the guy buy everything for the girl, mainly because Gabby is basically is first in line to be a successor to the Armor Titan. Falco wants it too. So then we have the setup for the play. This is, of course, the day prior. Now, this scene is actually slightly altered. Is dialogue changed? No. It's to where Marco is standing. You see, in the manga, he's actually standing. He's standing right behind Wilbur. In the anime, they actually made a change here. They actually have him sitting the opposite direction of Wilbur. He does pretty much the same thing he does in the manga, like hands him a book, pretty much spot on the same conversation. But they changed the fact he actually is sitting. Yes, I get kind of the reason why they changed this, because it would kind of become just a standard of like, just stand and just basically talk to somebody basically with your back to them. Just have a seat. This is like classic spy work. We have two people like facing away from each other, still have a conversation. Yeah, this can work. I do appreciate Mappa doing this, because if you read the manga, like, man, this is actually pretty awkward to see. It's like, oh, we see that he's being treated like a subordinate. Yeah, that's basically how the original creator depicted this. Like, so the subordinate gives us some info. Him sitting down facing the opposite direction basically treats as equal. And that's actually really good on the part of Mappa to do this. So, gives him the book, basically about detailed demolition. We also have a scene where, this is of course prior to the festival, where Reiner is given the briefing of all his knowledge of the island. The walls, everything, even the port. I didn't know about the wharf they had in the series. They never actually showed the wharf. But it's great the fact that he did this. I'm glad they get the scene in, though they tend to chastise like, okay, that's enough. Yeah, well, he gives all the info he can remember on top of his head, because he was with the Survey Corps for quite some time before he was discovered by the Armored Titan. Yep. So then we hit the festival, and then we have the play that's about to happen. We have the VIPs. Oh, before I continue, this is a really cool thing I should discuss. We have Gabby, Falco, and you have two warriors being waiters. Yep, at this big party where they're living food. And I think it's the one with the glass. I don't remember his name. He accidentally spills wine on a woman's Komodo. Yes. Now, there's a slight wording change here, because in the manga, she says basically, don't make a scene, says just hold on. And she knows this is just an accident. He didn't do this on purpose. Because even she can see how Marleans treat the Eldians, where they treat them like freaking crap, and she just wants to see any bad thing. Fun fact about this woman. This woman would actually return in the very next arc. And she's revealed to have a past with Mikasa. Yes, this is the same woman. They say she's from the Far East, basically Japan. From the gist of it, based upon her way she dresses. So, and of course, waiters basically are really quick. And, well, then we have the awesome festival. We have, basically Falco asks him, come with me, please? And he's like, okay, and Zeke's like, okay, it's perfectly fine. The thing's starting a bit, so you can go take it this quickly. Like, okay. So then he goes down to the cellar, opens the door, and they do cut off the actual line that Eren says, and he says, and he's like, Reiner, it's been a while. It's been 4 years, and then the episode ends with Reiner saying, Eren. Wow. Yes. Setting up for the second half of this amazing arc, which I am so looking forward to. Yes, it's probably going to happen in next week's episode. Yes, it probably will, given the fact that, because of the fact they got to chapter 98, they're effectively halfway through this arc already in just 4 episodes. Yeah, this arc is only 16 chapters, believe it or not. The next arc that comes right after this is 31 chapters. Now I'm thinking they're like, how the heck can they adapt 31 chapters in just 8 episodes? The answer, they probably can't. That, or they probably have to kind of rush it a bit. That's my guess. Or they probably have to do something special for Matt. If I were Mappa and to get the next arc justice, I would probably extend the actual season by episodes. I would give it a few episodes. I would give it 4 more episodes, or at least 5 or 6, just to cover the whole entirety of this particular arc, because I have heard that the very next that comes out is the last chapter of the series. Chapter, I think it's like one, actually, it's been like 29 chapters, so it's actually be 30 chapters, which makes this the longest arc of the entire series, the final arc. Yes, that's kind of interesting, though, because the arc that came before the Carnatic adapting, the last 2 arcs were 20 chapters apiece, and this arc is only just 16 chapters. And I gotta say, basically, adapting this one arc in the first 8 episodes, that's not a bad idea to do. And even if they were skipping around, but this episode, it's kind of like, okay, we finished up adapting stuff, basically, like, we skipped off from chapter 95, a little bit from that, and the second half of chapter 97, and adapted 1 full chapter for this episode. That's good. So that means next week's episode is probably going to cover, this is just my personal theory, I think they're going to cover from chapters 99 to 101, and they're going to end with the debut of the new suit looks for the Survey Corps, by showing off basically what Mikasa looks like. I would think so, either by next week's episode or 2 weeks from now. It's possible, but it all depends on the next few episodes of this particular series. Yep. Otherwise, though, really good episode. Can't wait for next week. Okay, so that's it for Single Review. And guess what? I'm going to go back to watching Monster Doctor next, okay? See you next video. Bye.